interact. What is meant by that? Object must be distinguishable. What is meant by that? Students, anyone can answer my question. Please answer my question. Yesterday we have discussed about these, right? Students? Please unmute yourself and you can answer my question. Students, object must be exist. What is meant by exist? What is meant by interact? What is meant by distinguishable? Students, answer my question. Navya, number 6. Are you there? Navya? Roll number 6.
Yes.
What is
Yes,
meant by
ma'am.
this? An object must exist. Object must be interact. What is meant by this?
Yes, ma'am.
Explain it. What is meant by that? Navya? Number 11. Number 11. Number 12. No one is responding.
It should have.
Okay. See here, an object must exist. That means it must be physically exist. Example, see here, CPU. Take CPU. CPU is an object, right? Which exists physically. CPU is an object which exists physically. And this object CPU is decomposable into other objects, right? What are those other objects? ALU, control unit, next registers, right? CPU is an object which physically exists. Exist means it must be physically exist. That means you can be able to touch it, or an object may be which is not physically existing. Example, process. What is meant by process? A program which is under execution is called a process. See, program will be executed, right? It's nothing but software. Now you cannot touch it, right? You cannot touch the process, but process is also can be considered as an object, okay, which must physically exist. Either physically you can touch, or you cannot, you are not able to touch it also. Example, process which is under execution. A program which is under execution is called as a process. It can also be considered as an object. Next, interact means, see here, all these objects, ALU is an object, control unit is an object, registers is an object. All these objects must be interacted with each other in order to perform the functionality of the processor. All these objects, ALU, control unit, registers, all these must be interacted. Next, distinguishable. Distinguishable means every object, there must be an identity for the every object. Each and every object must be distinguishable from each other. You must be able to identify it. Okay. Next, every object has a state. State, behavior, identity. What is meant by state? Answer my question. Students, are you listening? An object has a state, behavior, identity. What is meant by state? Students. Number 12. Number 20, 21. Yes, current values of the object is called a state.
Properties plus current values.
Yes, collection of operations. It is called a behavior. Identity.
Collection of operations.
Identity. Every object must be distinguishable from each other, right? So there must be identity. So in how many ways you can identify an object? Anyone can answer my question? Navya? Yes, 2 ways. What are those?
2, ma'am.
Yes. You can identify the
State
object
and ID
using
of an
state,
object.
or you can identify the object using ID. For example, if 2 states are equal, see here. Wait a minute. Here states are different. Item 1 state is different. Item 2 state is different. Item 3 state is different. Now you can identify item 1, item 2, item 3. Now see the B part. See here, item 1, it is changed to X values are changed to 75. Y value is changed to 75. And see the item 2 values. State is nothing but values. 75. X equal to 75. Y equal to 75. Here, item 1 values are same. Item 2 values are same. Okay. Item 1 values. That means state of this object, item 1. State of the object, item 2 are equal. Now you cannot identify or you cannot distinguish item 1 and item 2. Now, how can you distinguish it? By using address. Okay. Item 1 address is different. Item 2 is a pointer which contains address of this object. So, by using address you can identify, or by using IDs. The programming languages which have frameworks will put some IDs to the object. Example, Java has some frameworks, right? C++ does not have any frameworks. So, how can it identify? By using addresses. Okay, in this way, the object can be distinguishable. Remember that every object has state, behavior, and what is that? Identity. Okay, now let us see. Today's topic is, let us see, relation between the objects. One second. You know that every complex system is composed of objects, right? And every object must be interacted with each other. Now let us see what are the kinds of relationships exist between the objects. There are 2 kinds of relationships. First one is links. Second one is aggregation. Okay, these are the 2 kinds of relationships between the objects. First one is links. Second one is aggregation. Let us see what is links. See here. Links. Links represents a physical connection between 2 objects. If 2 objects are represented using some links, there is a relationship called link. There is a relationship between 2 objects called link. That means those 2 objects are physically connected. One object asks services of other object, or one object sends messages to other object. Okay, those are physically connected, interrelated. I hope you understood what is meant by links. Nothing but if there is physical connection between 2 objects, then you will be you have to represent as links. It's nothing but association, a kind of relationship. Let us see with an examples. Some physical connection between 2 objects. Let us see. See, this is a link. See here. Just a line. It is represented as just line, link. What this represents? There is a physical connection between object A and object B. Here link is represented by using simple line, single line. Okay. Here what it represents, see here. Object A uses the services of object B, and object B also uses services of object B, object A. Okay, see, this is a, here there is no direction. See the example 1. there is no direction. That means it is a bidirectional. There is no direction arrow mark, right? Just like this, there is no arrow mark. That means it is bidirectional. Bidirectional means object A invokes the methods of object B and object B invokes the method of object A. That means object A uses the services of object B and object B uses the services of object A. See here, messages are represented using small arrow mark. See, A is sending a message. Sending a message means it is invoking the object. Remember that sending the message means just invoking the method. Sorry, not object. Invoking the method. See here, object A is sending message to object B. That means object A is invoking a method of object B. Next, here see here, object B is sending a message. Here messages are represented using small arrow mark. See the direction. Direction is important. Here B is sending message to A. That means B object is invoking the method of object A. I hope you understood. This is what links. It is represented by single line. If there is no arrow mark symbol, it is bidirectional. Now see example 2. See, there is a direction. See here. See, there is a direction. What is meant by that? Object A is sending message to object B. Object A is sending message to object B. That means it is invoking. See here. See, there is an arrow mark. That means object A. See, there is arrow mark right here. See the arrow mark. Object A is invoking the methods of object B. Now see here, here object B may also send some messages, just a response. It may or may not invoke the method of object A, not B. I'm sorry. See here, see the arrow mark. Object A is invoking the method of object B. Here A is sending the message. A is sending the message. A is invoking the method of object B. Again see here, this is not bidirectional, right? But there may be a situations where object B may respond to object A. Here it is not bidirectional like example 1. In example 1, object A is requesting some, it is using some services of object B and object B is using some services of object A. It is bidirectional. But here it is not bidirectional. Then also there may be a situations where object B responds to object A. Just see the difference. Object A is invoking the method of object B, that's all. But there may be a situations where object B sends some responses to object A. Now, let us see. I hope you understood. It's very simple. Let us see an example. Another example. See here. Flow control system. Another example, flow control system. 1 minute. One second. Set of operations network issue. Just 1 second. Yes, see here. Next example is flow control system. Flow control system will control the flow of a water. Flow of water. Flow control system. Here I took the example. This is from your textbook. Flow control system will control the flow of water in pipe. Okay. It will control some flow of water from pipe in some manufacturing company. Okay. Manufacturing. See here. This flow control system will control the water in a pipe from the manufacturing plant. Let us see the objects. Here, objects are flow control. Flow controller is an object. Valve is an object. Display panel, sorry, display panel is an object. Okay, here there are three objects for flow control system. What flow control system is doing? It is controlling the flow of water from a pipe in a manufacturing plant. Okay. Now see here, directions are important. Just now I have said, just now I have explained it. See, the directions are important. This means this is a link. There is a link between flow controller object and valve object. And see here, again there is a link between flow controller object and display panel. And again see here, there is no arrow marks, right? See this link. See the link between display panel and valve, there is no arrow mark. That means what it means, this link? What it means, it is a bidirectional link. Now let us see what is happening. Here, flow controller object is sending some message. What is that message? Adjust. It is saying, it is sending some message. That means it is invoking the method of valve. Okay, flow controller object is invoking a method of valve. It is saying that to adjust the flow of water either by 1 unit or example, just an example, either by to increase 2 units or either by to decrease 2 units. It is saying something to valve object. Okay, this flow controller object is saying something to valve object. What is it is saying? It is sending some message. That means it is invoking the method of valve, so that it is saying that just decrease the flow of water either by 2 units, just an example, or either by decrease by 2 units or increase by 2 units. Okay, it is calling adjust. It is saying, it is calling some, it is sending some message. That means it is invoking some method. It is saying to adjust. Okay, now see here, again the flow controller object, is invoking the method of display panel. What display panel will do? It will show the status. It will show the status. What display panel will do? It will show the status. Okay. Now see here, again the valve object is communicating with object of display panel. See here. Now here it is flow control is saying to adjust, right? It is sending some message. After adjusting, this valve object will send the status. Okay, it is bidirectional. See here, there is no arrow marks here. There are no arrow marks here, right? It is bidirectional. That means both are communicating. Here valve is sending some status. It is sending some, after adjusting, it is sending some status, so that the display panel will display the status. Okay. Now, at the same time, the display panel may send some message. It may not invoke, it may send some response at the same time. I hope you understood. Any doubts? Students, is it clear? Students, is it clear? Shall I continue? See, no one is responding. Please respond. Okay. Okay, I'll continue. Okay, see here. I hope you understood the concept. Flow controller is asking some services of valve. And next again, flow control is asking some services from display panel. What display panel will do? It will display the status. Again, see here, valve is sending some message. That means it is sending some status. After adjusting, it is sending some status. And here at the same time, display panel may send some responses. It may not invoke any operations of valve, but it may send some messages. That's why I have represented like this, bidirectional. Now, let us see the roles of the object. In previous class, I have explained the roles and responsibilities of an object, right? Roles and responsibilities of object I have explained. Now let us see what these roles of the object. Flow control. What is the role of flow controller object? What is the role of valve object? What is the role of a display panel? Let us see. See here. Flow controller object role is active object. It is an active object. Active object, or you can say it is a controller, or you can say it is a controller. The role of flow controller object is an active object, or you can say controller. Why you are saying it is an active object, or why you are saying it is a controller object? Because this object, flow controller object, is asking some services from other objects, from valve object, and it is asking some services from display panel object. That means it is an active object or controller. For example, take client server model. Client server model. Client will ask some services from server, right? Now you can say client is an active object or client is a controller. That means asking some services. Then you can say it is an active object here. Flow controller operates on valve. Flow controller operates on display panel, and nobody is asking, no other object is asking services. Remember this. An active object or a controller means, who is it? An active object or controller means the role is active object or controller. That means this object asks services. It will ask services from other object, but no object will ask services. Okay. See here, for flow control, no other object is asking services, right? Of flow control. No other object is asking services of flow control. Remember this. A controller, an object is playing a role of controller means it is asking services from other objects, but no other objects are asking the controller object services. This is called active object or controller role. Now let us see another role, valve, display panel. Let us see role of display panel. Here, role of display panel is server. Server, it is acting like a server. What server will do? It will receive the request, right? And it will respond. Okay, it will receive and it will provide the services. So what display panel is doing? It is receiving some request and it is providing. See here, it is providing some services. It is receiving and it is providing some services, or you can say like it just provides some services. Please don't get confused. This is acting like a server. The role of this display panel is server. Okay, it is just providing some services. It is acting like a server. Now let us see what is the role of valve object. It is acting like a proxy. Proxy means intermediate server. See here, intermediate server means it is receiving a request and it is providing. Again, it is sending, sorry, not providing, I'm sorry. It is receiving the request. It is acting like intermediate. See here, it is receiving the request from flow control and sending the, after adjusting, it is sending the response or request to display panel. It is sending some status. That means it is acting like intermediate server, receiving the request or receiving the some message, and it is sending some message to display panel. What message it is sending? Some status. What display panel will do? It will display the status, just like either it is increased by 2 units or either it is decreased by 2 in something. Okay. I hope you understood. The role of flow controller is a controller or it is an active object. The role of a display panel is a server. It is providing some services, that's all. And the role of valve object is proxy. Proxy means intermediate server. That means receiving the request and sending the request. These are the roles of the these objects. I hope you understood. Let us see next exam. Let us see next relationship between the objects. Up to now we have seen the links, relationship between the objects, links. Now second relationship is aggregation. Already you know what is meant by aggregation. Let us see it. Aggregation means it denotes part of a relationship, part of. For example, take CPU. CPU is an object. What is the relation between CPU and ALU? ALU is an object. What is a relationship between ALU and CPU? It is a part of. ALU is a part of CPU. So, the relation is aggregation. See the symbol, diamond symbol. You need to use diamond symbol. Okay, see, diamond symbol means aggregation. See, this diamond symbol, it is pointing to CPU. That means here ALU is a part of CPU. Okay, I hope you understood. Part of relationship. It exhibits part of relationship. Here you need to use notation or representation. See how you are going to represent the relation aggregation. Diamond symbol, arrow mark, diamond symbol. See here, arrow mark, diamond symbol. Let us see the example. Simple examples. See here, aggregation is of two types. Strong aggregation and weak aggregation. Strong aggregation means it is a an object is physically contained in another object. Example, CPU and ALU. ALU is physically contained in CPU, right? Physically it is present. So it is a strong aggregation. Other examples, car and engine or aircraft and engine. Car and its wheel. Car is an object, wheels is an object, aircraft is an object, engine is an object. See, engine is physically present in aircraft, right? And wheels are physically present in car, right? That means these are physically containment. Physically it contains. So this object car physically contains its wheels. So there is a strong relation, strong aggregation. Has a means strong aggregation. Physically contained. Now let us say weak aggregation. See, library and users. See, users are part of library. Users are part of library, but they are not physically contained in library. In library, books are physically contained, right? Books. Library contains books. You know that library contains books. That means books are physically contained in library. Books are part of library, physically contained. So, the relation between library and books is strong aggregation. So, in this way you need to represent, right? 1 second. See, library and books. Books are part of library, right? So, what is the relationship between library and books? Books are physically contained in library. That means strong aggregation. But see here, library and users. Users are part of library only. But users are not physically contained in library. So, there is a weak aggregation. Stakeholders and shares. There is a weak aggregation. These are part only. But they are not physically contained in the object. I hope you understood strong aggregation and weak aggregation. Let us see another example, temperature control system. See here, this is a temperature controller. And see here, there is a heater. What is the relation between temperature control and heater? See here symbol. See here. See this one. This represents it is an aggregation. That means heater. Heater is part of temperature. See the direction. Direction is also important. See here, direction. It is pointing to temperature control, diamond symbol. That means aggregation. That means see here, heater is part of temperature control. controller. Now here there is another relationship, link. There is a link. See, just an arrow mark. That means it is not part of temperature controller. Is not part of temperature ramp. It is. This is another object. Temperature ramp is another object. Heater is another object. But here see the relationship between the objects. See the relationship between the object. Heater is part of temperature control because here there is an aggregation diamond symbol. See the link, diamond symbol, and see the link of here. Temperature ramp object. This object. See here link. It is just an arrow mark. That means there is a link. Physical connection between temperature controller and temperature ramp. Temperature controller regulates temperature. Here it is sending some message. That means invoking the method of temperature ramp. And here heater is a part of temperature control. These are the relationships. Now see here in temperature controller, here some minus. We are representing using minus and plus. What is this minus and what is this plus? Can anyone answer my question? What is this minus? See here, there is a minus, right? What is this minus and what is this plus here? There is plus here. What is meant by that? Anyone? Anyone answer my question?
Minus indicate.
Who is that?
Minus indicates
What's your roll number?
private and 20, ma'am.
20. Okay. Yes. Minus indicates
Private, ma'am.
private. Very good. Plus,
Plus public, ma'am.
what is Ash?
Protected.
Yes. Very good. 28. What's your name?
20, ma'am.
20. What's your name?
Kavya, ma'am.
Kavya. Very good. Very good, Kavya. Okay. I hope you understood. Aggregation means this symbol. Link means this symbol. Either it may be bidirectional or some arrow marks. Okay. See here. Here arrow mark is important. See, arrow mark is like this. That means the temperature controller is asking something to temperature ramp. It is sending some message. It is invoking some object. See the arrow marks. Now let us see another example. Another example? No. There is no another example. Okay. See, relationships are completed. Relationships of object. Links and aggregation. This is completed. Now let us see nature of a class. Relationship between objects is completed. What is the relation? How many kinds of relations are there? Links and aggregation. Only two types. Links and aggregation. Link means some physical connection between two objects. It is represented by just a simple line. Either it may be simple line means bidirectional. Directional means you have to keep some arrow mark. Now aggregation. Aggregation means part of relationship. That means you need to use some diamond symbol like this. Like this, aggregation. Okay, now let us see nature of a class. Please understand all these things, examples. It will be very easy. Now let us see the nature of class. Already you know what is meant by class, right? You are familiar with classes. Already you know what is meant by class. I will explain with an example. See the example. Here class is faculty. Class is a faculty. Name of the class is faculty. Now let us see objects of faculty. See here. Kamala is an object. She is an assistant professor from CSE. And Ram is an object. He is assistant professor from ECE. Okay. There may be many objects like this. Faculty, many faculty members. So all are considered as an object. So Kamala contains or Kamala shares all the properties and methods of the faculty. Okay, faculty will have some name. Faculty will have ID. Faculty belongs to some department, right? So all the properties of faculty, this object shares. So this object contains all the properties and methods of the faculty. right? And Ram is an object. He is also a faculty member. So this object shares all the relation. Ram object shares all the properties of the faculty. What are the properties of faculty? Just like ID, just like name, ID, and department designation. These are the properties of faculty, right? And every faculty will have some responsibilities. Okay, every faculty will have some responsibilities. Those are called methods. So this object Kamala will share the properties of faculty and methods of faculty. And this Ram object also shares the properties of faculty and methods of faculty. Now let us see the definition related to OAD. Let us see the definition. Class is nothing but set of objects that share common structure and behavior of the class. Okay. Class is nothing but it is a set of objects that share a common structure. See here, Kamala is an object, Ram is an object, and there may be another many faculty members. All those can be considered as objects. So all these members share the properties of faculty. Faculty is a class. Now you can define a class as class is a set of objects that share a common properties and methods or behavior, whatever it may be. Okay, this is the definition of the class related to OAD, object oriented design and analysis and design. I hope you understood. This is a simple example. Let us see. Class is divided into two parts, right? You know that already. You're familiar with classes. Class is divided into two parts. First part is interface. What it provides? Interface is an outer view, outside view. That means, see here example. Data members and member functions or methods or variables. These are all considered to be interface of the class. Just an outside view or just an abstraction. This is just an abstraction, right? All the data members and all the methods of a class are nothing but interface of the class. See here, faculty class, name, department, designation, all these are variables. Salary, and what are the methods? Set name, get salary. Again, there may be many methods. Just an example. So here in this class, this is an interface. Just it contains the data members and member function declarations, just declarations. Now, there is another part of a class. What is that another part of a class? Implementation. Implementation means you need to implement, write code for these methods. Another part is nothing but it contains all the inner details of the methods. Inner details of the methods means nothing but you have to implement these functions. You need to write some piece of code for these functions. You need to define these functions. Okay, it is called implementation. Okay, there are two parts. First one is interface is nothing but data members declaration and member functions declaration. And implementation is nothing but all the inner details. That means all the code related to set name, get salary, functions. You need to define the functions, right? It is implementation. Let us see with an examples. Okay, relations, okay. Examples coming. Now let us see the relationship among the classes. Relationships, up to now you have seen relationship between the objects, right? What are the relationship between the objects? Links and aggregation. Now let us see relationship among the classes. See the example, just a very simple example. Here Daisy is a flower. See the image. This is a daisy flower. Daisy is a kind of flower. Now what is the relationship between daisy and a flower? The flower is a class. Daisy is a class. See the daisy flower in the PPT images. See the image. You will understand what is meant by what is the daisy flower. See, this is a daisy flower. Now, daisy, it is a flower name. Daisy is a kind of flower. Here, flower is a class and daisy is a class. What is the relationship among these two classes? Is a relationship. Next, let us see what is the connection between daisy and flower. Connection is sharing. That means daisy class shares the properties of flower class. Daisy class shares the property of flower class. So the connection between daisy and flower is sharing. Next, let us see rose. See the image. This is a rose, right? Rose is a kind of flower. Here rose is a class, flower is a class. What is the relationship between rose and flower? There is a relationship. Rose is a kind of flower. Relationship between is a relationship. That means it represents association. Remember that is a means some kind of association. Relationship is association. That means there is a relationship. Now let us see what is the connection between rose and flower. What is connection between the rose and flower? See here, sharing. Here, rose class shares the properties of flower class. Okay, so the connection between the rose class and flower class is sharing. Now let us see relation between red rose class, yellow rose class, and rose class. See here, red rose, yellow rose. Now let us see connection between the red rose, yellow rose. Here red rose is a class, yellow rose is a class, and rose is a class. Now what is the connection between them? Semantic. Semantic means similar, meaningful. See here, both red rose, yellow rose, both are roses, right? Both are of same kind. Semantic, similar, meaningful. Okay, both are of same kind. So what is the relationship between those? Semantic connection. Sorry, connection is semantic connection. Relationship is a kind of rose. Red rose is a kind of rose. Yellow rose is a kind of rose. Okay, now next relationship. Up to now we have seen the relationship is a. So is a means association. Relationship between the classes. First kind of relationship is association. Some kind is a relationship. Now let us see the part of relationship. Aggregation. Part of, already we have seen. Petal. See, these are the petals, right? These are the petals. Petal is a part of flower, right? Petal is a class. Flower is a class. What is the relationship between petal and flower? Part of relationship. That means physically connection. See the connection. Petals are physically containment. It contains and flowers, right? See here. These are the petals. Now ladybugs. See here, just an example. In examination also you need to explain with an example. Simple examples. And you need to draw the diagrams also. See here, ladybugs. This is a ladybug insect. What this ladybug insect does? This ladybug insect will eat aphids. These are again insects. Okay, ladybug is an insect which eats aphids. Aphids are some other insects. This insect will eat this insect. That means ladybug insect is protecting the plant from aphids. This ladybug is protecting. Now let us see the relationship between a ladybug insect and flowers. This ladybug is protecting the flowers by eating the aphids. These are some other insects which causes harm to the plant or flower plant. So what is the relationship between them? Symbiotic relation. Connection. Symbiotic. That means dependency. Okay, there is some dependency because ladybugs protects flowers. Flowers are depending on ladybug. There is some symbiotic connection, dependency. Okay, I hope you understood. So how many relationships are there? Association, aggregation, and dependency. These are the relationships of classes. Association means is a relationship. Aggregation means part of relationship. Dependency means symbiotic. Depends. One class depends on other class. Let us see with an example diagrammatic form. You will understand you will understand better. See here, these are the kinds of association. Is a relationship. Again, inheritance is also a kind of association only. Okay. Aggregation, dependency. Let us see each one. See here, association example means just a link. Flower is a class, rose is a class. What is the relationship between them? Is a relationship. It is nothing but a kind of association. See here, rose is a kind of flower, is a relationship, and petal relationship is part of. Here, see here, let us see more refined form. Just simply you can use some link just like this. You can use simply link, but see the more refined form. See here, more refined form of this link association is, see here, inheritance, more refined form. Here it represents, see here, symbol. This symbol is important. Triangle, right? Some triangle. Triangle means there is a triangle symbol means it is inheritance. Okay. Now rose flower is inheriting all the properties of flower. Here rose is a subclass. Flower is a superclass. See here. This arrow mark, this triangle is pointing to flower. That means flower is a superclass. This is more refined form of this. More refined form of this. This is also an association only. This is also kind of association only. But more refined form, let us see. Inheritance is a relationship. Is a. Rose is a kind of flower. Here this is important. This symbol is pointing to flower. That means flower is a superclass. Now let us see aggregation. Petal. Next flower. Now see here. This symbol is important. Diamond symbol, which represents aggregation. Petal is a part of flower. Petal is a part of flower. See the direction. Petal is a part of flower. I hope you understood. In this way, you need to represent. These are the symbols for classes. These are the symbols for classes. Okay, these are all symbols for classes. And this is a symbol for inheritance. And this is a symbol for aggregation. Let us see other examples. I hope you understood this. Let us see other examples. Multiplicity. Multiplicity represents number of times an instance is participating. Okay, number of times an instance is an instance is participating with other instance. Let us see. Let us see. Multiplicity is, first multiplicity is 1 to 1. See, multiplicity means number of times an instance is participating with other instance. Okay, 1 to 1. Next one is 1 to many. Next, many to many. Let us see 1 to 1. See here, player is a class, team is a class. Here, see here. See the message. See, a player can play for a team. One player can play for one team only. This is a 1 to 1. Okay, multiplicity 1 to 1. Only a single player, one player can play for only one team, right? He can't play for 2 or more teams. One player must play for one team only. This is a 1 to 1. Excuse me. This is 1 to 1 multiplicity. I hope you understood this. This player is a class, team is a class. One player, here one represent, one player is participating in one team. This again, this one represents, it is one player is participating in one team only. See, 1 to 1. Now let us see 1 to many. Here, person is a class. Order is a class. Person is a class. Order is a class. Now see here. One dot dot star. One dot dot star means, see here, one dot dot star. One or many. One dot dot star means one or many. Now see here, a person. Here object is Ruby. Person name is Ruby. Ruby is an object. Now this person, this Ruby, only one person. See here, I have represented as one. That means only one person. See here, here one means only one person can order one item, or she may order more than one item. See, one dot dot star, that means she may order many items. Either she may order one item or many items. Okay, this is what one to many. Here one is representing one person will order many items, or she may order one item. This is multiplicity. One dot dot star means one or many. Now let us see many to many. Many to many. Student is a class. Course is a class. Here, see here, star star. What is star? Many. See here, star means many. Many students, many courses. Now let us see. One student can enroll to many courses. Okay, just listen the explanation. What is this star? Star means many. Many students, many courses. Just see the example. One student can enroll to many courses. And many students, again I am representing using star. Many students can enroll to one course. See here. This is the explanation between this. This is the explanation of this diagram. Star, many students, many courses. That means one student can enroll to many courses and many students can enroll to one course. This is the multiplicity. One to one, one to many, many to one. I hope you understood. Once again, see here. Now let us see. Time is up. 54. Let us see inheritance. Already you know what is inheritance, right? One class object acquires properties of other class object. So let us see an example. Already you know this is very simple examples. See here, flower is a class, rose is a class. This is a single inheritance, right? Single inheritance. Rose class is acquiring the properties of flower class. Now see here, this symbol is important. Triangle symbol, you are represent using triangle and some arrow mark, that line. That means it is a relationship. What kind of relationship? Inheritance. Here flower is a superclass, rose is a subclass. Rose is acquiring all the properties of flower class. Now here important is generalization and specialization. So here the properties of plant, just like an example, flower contain petals, right? Petals, and it may contain sepal, all those things, many properties. Stem, flower will contain stem, so many properties. Now this rose flower will contain petals, right? And the rose flower contains sepals, right? And rose flower contains stem, right? That means this rose class is acquiring all the properties of flower class. What are the properties? Petals, sepals, stem, all these properties. Now, in addition to these properties, rose flower will have some special properties, right? One second. Rose flower will have some special properties, just like rose petals are used for beauty purpose, right? Some special properties. That means here rose is a specialization and flower is just a generalization class. Generalization. Okay. Rose flower will have some special properties, either Apart from all these petals, sepals, stem, rose flower will contain all these properties. Apart from that, the rose flower will contain some special properties like the petals of rose can be used in beauty purpose, right? So the rose class can be considered as specialization, and this class can be considered as generalization. So what is the relationship? Generalization and specialization or specialization. This is just a single inheritance. In next class, we will discuss the multiple inheritance, all those things. I will continue the relationships of the classes, yes, relationships of the classes in next class. Thank you. Any doubts? Please respond, students. Don't leave. Don't leave the class. Just wait. Just wait for 2 minutes. Don't leave the class. Any doubts? I need to take the attendance. Please wait. Don't leave the class. What is this? Please wait. Don't leave the class. I'm taking attendance. Please wait for 2 minutes. Wait for 2 minutes. Please wait for 2 minutes. It's not coming in route level. Please wait. I'm generating the attendance. Please wait, students. Just 2 minutes. It's not coming. Okay, you can leave. Okay, students, you can leave. Leave the class. Okay, thank you, students. Okay, you can leave the class.
అరే క్లాస్ అయిపోయింది, ఎగ్జిట్ అవ్వండి.
తమ్ముడు నువ్వు పోవు తమ్ముడు ముందు.
మేడం తీసేసేంత వరకు నువ్వు బయటికి వెళ్ళవా?
ఏ లిఖిత్ ఉన్నావా? బతికే ఉన్నావా?
నా మైక్ ఆఫ్ చేసింది ఎవరు బయటికి పోవాలి. ఏ నితిన్ గా బయటికి పోయ్యా